Welcome back, Aries. DestinysJesus here. I hope you guys enjoyed my most recent video where I was taking a look at 3 levels of the placement cup. Where I looked at Malibuca, Th0masHD, and then a semi-pro duo, sort of in the top 200 range, and then a beginner duo in a sort of top 1k range. But today I'm going to go ahead and instead of looking at these high-level games of the finals, obviously surge and positioning and rotates, instead I'm going to do how to W key like these guys. They dropped an insane 14 average kills here, 113 total eliminations, absolutely insane. And as you can see, their game history, 229 kill wins, as well as 2 pretty high kill wins and a 20 bomb second, which is all we're looking at here. Just a whole load of mid-game fighting stuff for you guys to get better. If you're in contender, I'd highly recommend just paying attention to this video and practicing the things that I'm saying in this video. It isn't just purely mechanical stuff that you can do on your own. There's definitely some things like that from Malibuca and from Th0masHD, some good mechanical fundamentals, but it's a lot more just duo solid gameplay that you guys can easily implement if you put the time and effort with your duo to get better this season. Alright, let's get straight into this with clip number 1, and I've got 10 total clips. This right here just shows what a different level Malibuca is on when it comes to box fighting fundamentals and sort of mechanics. First things first is his shotgun replaces this wall, so he shoots it so he can break it in one pickaxe swing, maybe catch the guy off timing, since most people expect you to spray their wall or pickaxe it twice to replace it. It's a very nice trick you can do. Then he goes ahead and baits his pickaxe swing. Never ever swing a pickaxe more than twice in a single fight because you can get caught off guard. So he baits the fact that he's going to swing his pickaxe on this guy's wall directly, and then he goes ahead and pulls out a shotgun, and playing around this right hand peak, he out damages the guy. Now at this point, his health advantage, he wants to pressure him. How he's only got 2 more shots in the chamber, so I think I'd always recommend doing is not using a shotgun to replace apart from that first shot. So what does Malibuca do? Instead of swinging on the wall, which is a big mistake a lot of players would make, he goes ahead and uses his SMG, or just use your spray weapon, as a long-range pickaxe. So he sprays through, breaks both of the guys' builds since they're both low HP, as you can see. Holds the wall to make sure the guy can't run out to him or try to hit a pump shot. Holds the wall, and then he realizes the guy still hasn't placed anything in his box. So he's going to go ahead and do a nice open edit, slide a cone in, reset the wall, and a really good movement here to go ahead and hold the wall again as the guy's going for the timing shot. And then there's a nice open edit. He wants to force the 50-50 here because the guy's just used a shotgun shot, and then he goes in and kills him. This right here might just seem like a very simple 50-50 sort of OFFSPAWN situation that basically comes down to who gets the better gunner. However, Th0masHD and Malibuca actually outplay their opponents with only DMRs and red eyes when the other opponents have SMGs and shotguns. And this is how they do it. Let's take a look at where Th0masHD is dropping. They've got a similar 50-50 drop with the other team, basically using the same sort of drop. And he doesn't go for this risky 50-50. Instead, he realizes where Malibuca is landing. He's landing on this chest here. Malibuca opens it, gets a DMR, and they realizes he can do this really smart play, which I haven't even seen that many people do. Instead of 50-50 in the SMG, he goes ahead and lands in the open pretty much, and sort of baits out this other guy. He runs back forward, he makes a lot of audio noises, and also on visual sound effects. So this guy will try to W key him, and then he goes ahead and baits him out, so he's forced to run back in the open. Either he chases along here in the open, or he runs back along here and goes through the door. So Malibuca's able to get that 50 tag right there, and then Th0masHD getting a red eye inside is easily able to out-aim him with some good movement. From here on out, they go ahead and instantly regroup while Malibuca's getting W cube the other guy who landed near, and then Th0masHD does a very nice peek. It's just to go ahead and left-hand peek, crouches down, and just out-aims this guy. Again, it might just seem like a simple 50-50, but these guys managed to win it with only a DMR and a red eye from just that nice bait out play they did. Th0masHD does 3 really smart things during this fight to make it as quick as possible. First thing first is to go ahead and drop minis for impulses. Impulses are very good for getting to people quickly. Also, you can actually catch people off guard with your positioning after your impulse, which is exactly what he does there. You can see he's close to the metal wall. He spots this guy's up on a stair above him. Now, what do you do when someone's on a stair above you? Try to full piece them, try to do something like that. Instead, he goes ahead and just sprints out to the side. Good crosshair placement to turn around while he's still sprinting, so he doesn't go too wide, and he's also quite close to go for a shot. And then instantly as he does this, he gets this high wall, which is the key thing for this fight ending so quickly. He gets this high wall, and now from this guy's perspective, as you can see here, he's basically forced in a really awkward situation. He either has to try to angel while low HP on this wall, or he has to try to flip the stair or go underneath, which is obviously not the best play because you can get a storm on that wall. Or you have to go out here to the left-hand side, give Th0masHD a right peek, which you don't want to do, right? So instead, he goes and does the most obvious play for pretty much every player in this scenario, is to go out here and edit on this right-hand wall. And Th0masHD instantly realizes that. He gets this close wall, gets him up with a cone, perfect crosshair placement. He's 3 steps ahead of this guy at all points in this fight, and goes ahead and maxes him with good crosshair placement. This right here is one of the absolute best things you can do when you're on the defensive. You see here, Malibuca's W King Queasy. Unfortunately, he makes a mistake with his angles and he actually gets beamed by Veno from overhead, as you can see. So now he's forced instantly on the back foot in a 1v1. So what do you do when you're on the back foot? Instantly swaps over to Brick, doesn't try to heal in one wood box, a little bit stupid. He goes ahead and swaps instantly over to Brick, backs up and makes an L-shaped box. This is what we've been talking about for a very long time since like Kiriachi and Slurpy Swamp days. He builds this L-shaped box, as you can see here. It's the initial box, plus these two over here on hard mats. So now if Queasy quickly wants to W key him, he's either forced to go into all of Malibuca's piece, or he has to go the long way around, which basically buys Malibuca enough time to get his heals off. So you can see Malibuca gets his heals off, and now Queasy is forced into his piece. If Malibuca wanted to, maybe use a couple splashes, he has edits from above, he has edits from the left. He could even go back around this way and have a right-hand peek on Queasy right here on this wall that's already pre-edited. There's a lot of things that he could do to counter Queasy in the situation, but instead, something very smart is instead of trying to continue this 1v1 when he's low HP, instead he hammers over, right-clicks over, and realizes, okay, well, why would I fight Queasy in a 1v1, even though he could probably win that fight? Instead, he goes ahead, instantly creates a 2v1, really nice hammer play with good crossover placement, flicks it around, and knocks Veno. And from here on out, he's got an easy 2v1 on Queasy. Again, very nice play. He baits out that Queasy's going to go for, obviously, Veno's body and try to WQ Th0masHD since he was a little bit lower. And he gets that opening crack from behind, full piece, and gets the kill. Basically a perfectly played fight, and a lot of useful tips for you guys. This mid-game fight and quick duo wipe is a really good example of just how aware Malibuca and Th0masHD are in just some small things. So you can see here, they're trying to create a 2v1, and this guy's a little bit split from his duo, and Malibuca realizes, okay, this guy's duo's got to be close by, he's got to be coming over, probably by a hammer, and he hears the hammer sound, looks over, and gets that little tag to open it up. Instantly, Th0masHD realizes, okay, let's leave this guy in the box. Even though I've hit him 100, let me not try to chase somebody in all their builds where I can get edited on by the duo. Let me instead go ahead and create a 2v1 on the other player. This guy in the box that he's hit has to go ahead and sit there popping minis, splashes, bigs, whatever. He's going to be out of the fight for at least 10 seconds. So these guys can go ahead and instantly create a 2v1 for 10 seconds to wipe this team very quickly. And he realizes, okay, Malibuca's going to go ahead and start chopping out, as you can see here. What does Th0masHD do? He does something extremely smart. I don't think he even meant to do this, but it's very smart if he did. Is he connects his builds in a way that's not actually going to connect any further. So Malibuca can chop this guy out instantly just based on his 2 wood walls, while Th0masHD is sort of fighting him and jumping on him from up top. And you can see they double pump him out the air and get that instantly knock. And then now, as this guy's sitting there trying to pop his splashes and pop his bigs, he's been out of the fight for a few seconds. He realizes, oh, we're going to lose this fight quickly. Let me go over and help. Edits, instantly gets 2v1, and these guys just go ahead and push straight into his box and kill him very quickly. Tries to get away with a hammer, and he's just dead. This duo wipe from Th0masHD shows why he's probably got the best fundamentals out of any top player. And by fundamentals, I'm talking about things like right-hand peeks, piece control, and just simple aiming tips that you guys can copy. So first things first, a little bit low HP, hopping on the wall and somebody's cracked. He's going to go ahead and slide the cone in as he does wall place, very easy technique. And then look it, he holds the wall till he is fully around the corner. He doesn't take any risks of dying to somebody running out at him. He goes fully around the corner, so even if the guy was sitting back there in the box, hiding behind the cone, which is quite a common trick that a lot of pros do, he's fully around the wall. And he also does a very nice thing here, which if you listen, he waits for the guy to shoot a shotgun. He waits for that sort of typical timing where someone is going to go ahead and right-hand peek instantly after doing edit, and he just plays based on the fact that most players play a little bit faster than him. When you watch Th0masHD, he's not the flashiest player, he's not doing any like crazy things like Vico running around edit coursing people at speed of sound, right? Instead, he's just got these very solid, slow fundamentals that work really nicely when it comes to cleaning mid-game fights very quickly. Even in this next fight, he plays it very slow and patiently. He hops on the wall, reloads a shotgun, waits for the guy to do a bad edit, and just stands here ready to out-aim him. You can see, the guy does a bad edit, gets a 100 crack on him, and then again, he knows he's at the correct amount of HP, so even if this guy does a good peek here and resets the wall, he can still hit a timing shot without getting one pumped, which is exactly what he does. The guy hits a timing shot, and he goes ahead and just wipes him up straightly afterwards. This right here might seem really simple, basically a perfect example of understanding where your teammate is and looking at the minimap before a fight starts. This is so crucial. Whenever you're split from your teammate, always think about how you can rebox and help your teammate out with getting a beam as the fight initiates. You can see here, Malibuca is sneaking over. He's going to go for a jump shot on this guy below him, and he doesn't realize there's a player behind him, but as soon as he gets tagged from behind right here, he knows where Th0masHD is, and Th0masHD has obviously got really good aim, but pretty much any player can hit these sort of horizontal shots. So the really smart thing that Malibuca does is as this guy's W-king towards him, is he reboxes the other way from him, so he's forced to run in the open more. He's obviously going to act on that 50 tag that he got Malibuca. He's going to try to jump in. He knows there's a solo. Malibuca reboxes away from him, forces the guy to jump in the open. Th0masHD hits in the same amount of beams on this guy, and he gets his opening knock. Again, just a very small thing, but always be aware of your teammate is at the start of fight and how to use that to your advantage. This fight doesn't have too many talking points, but it's got a couple nice things from Th0masHD that he does. First thing is just some very nice prediction on his opponent here. They're sort of fighting in an awkward area. It's pretty much just a vertical fight. So as he goes for this wall replace, he realizes the guy is just panicking and making space downwards. So he predicts where he's going to go. He remembers he's got this wall, so he catches him off guard. Now the next thing, I think is the biggest thing here, is he doesn't faff around trying to swap out his shotguns, picking up a load of splashes, deciding what to carry. Instead, he just instantly goes over and capitalizes on the 2v1 as quick as possible, so they can just get as many kills as possible. So he realizes Malibuca is pressuring, he comms pretty much him to keep on pressuring, spams a load of cones around, and then goes from above. It's really important when your teammate is pressuring from one sort of verticality, so Malibuca is pressuring from the layer below horizontally on the guy, you pressure from a different verticality. So he's pressuring from above here, he gets the wall, gets the cone slide, and then wipes up very quickly. Using pre-edits during fights is something I haven't seen a lot of teams doing. Th0masHD, when he first started making pre-edits popular, would do this the whole time. He basically did pretty much every single mid-game fight, whack on a pre-edit and always catch people off guard. However, now people only really do pre-edits to close things out or to get refreshes. However, using them in the opening of a fight like Malibuca does here is really smart. So you can see they're going ahead and hiding on this team as they run up on them, and they're going to go ahead and awareness check them and catch them off guard. So you can see he gets the opening crack on this guy, and instead of having to just get the wall or try to replace the wall, instead he's able to just hop down and just spam walls absolutely everywhere. And also because the wall is open, it's very easy to place a cone at the same time. So you can see this guy is absolutely screwed. He's trying to hold a wall that's not even his, and it also cone isn't even his, and he instantly dies. And from here on out, these guys go ahead and just get in box straight away. Really nice pinch right here. Malibuca, instead of swinging on the wall, allowing himself to get run out on, he waits for Th0masHD to go ahead and go from behind. Gets the 100 tag on the guy, and then from here on out, they both go ahead and pinch in from different sides. This fight is a perfect example of how you want to pinch when it comes to box fights. You can see here they get an opening bit of damage. They try to jump in and 2v1 instantly on this guy, which is definitely the correct play, but this guy holds his wall and he manages to place a stair, so he's completely fine. And now the players are boxed up and they're obviously going to try to heal. Whenever this happens, you need to make sure you do exactly what these guys do, which is to split and go from different angles. So you can see here, Th0mas is still pressuring from the same angle. He's sort of box fighting them, keeping one of the players busy. And Malibuca is going to focus and go over here to the player that was originally low. Now this guy, Malibuca is still aware of him. He's still got his crosshair on him, but he's now making space backwards, escaping from Th0masHD, who's pressuring him. And now they both pinch in on, and the cone gets into this guy's box to get instant opening knock. Malibuca is still aware of where the other player is. Hits a nice pre-fire timing shot. Nice little Mongol classic. You don't really see this too much nowadays, but it's still very good to do, and gets that second kill.